How's it going, everybody? I'm the Game Thrifter. Welcome to another exciting Game Thrifter video. You know, I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 3 lately, and so that's probably why I've been doing a little bit more PlayStation 3 videos than I normally would. I have to say, I've really come into liking a lot of the PS3 games that have come out. There's a wide variety of exclusives. There's a lot of great multi-plat third-party games that play very well in the game system as well. In general, I think the PlayStation 3 is kind of coming into its own. It's a console that still has its digital, marketplace up, which I think is awesome. So if you ever wanted to pick up some of those games that, might go away or that are digital only, it's still a good time to do that. I mean, when you think about it, Sony of all people still have theirs open. Nintendo closed theirs years ago. Microsoft closed theirs. So yeah, this is kind of the only thing in town. Now, if you're wondering what games I've played lately on the PlayStation 3, this is going to be a good video for you. I think these are fun games. You might not always agree with my picks, but hey, I love to have the difference of opinions in the comment section. And, I just am excited to kind of get started on this video. Here's some PS3 games that I'm playing and having a lot of fun with. I'm even playing PS3 more than my PS5. It's crazy, but it's happening for a lot of reasons probably, but I want to get into it. Should be a good video. Let's go. So I have a son and I like playing games with him. We like to play stuff. We play the Nintendo stuff together. We play a lot of games together, but LittleBigPlanet Karting is a really fun one to kind of play together with other people in the same room, and I love that about it. So I know this game isn't one that gets a lot of love or whatever, but it delivers a really classic kart racing experience with kind of the LittleBigPlanet heart and soul behind it. You can actually do up to 4-player split screen locally, which I think is awesome, because I know a lot of people love Mario Kart, and I love it too, but sometimes it's good to change it up and do something a little bit different, and so you have this as well. There's a lot of different races and challenges and things like that in LittleBigPlanet Karting. It's got a really crafty aesthetic, and the graphics still hold up today, which I think is awesome when you think about it. So you can pick up a lot of different gadgets and weapons scattered on the track: projectiles, launchers, heat-seeking missiles, EMPs, grenades, bubbles that actually protect your character in the game. So I think, there's a lot of cool things in here that, a lot of people will probably enjoy playing through. And like I said, it helps that the game graphically holds up incredibly well, and overall I just think aesthetically, the way that it looks, the way that it plays, it's just such a fun game, and everybody can get into it. And I think that's probably the best part about games like this, is that it's incredibly fun and easy for everybody to get into. It doesn't make things difficult. You might it might take you a few minutes to get used to it, but yeah, it's a fun game. I love this game, and it's highly recommended. I've been playing a lot of it recently. Next up is a game that I play through here and there, and it's Heavenly Sword. It's a very good cinematic action-adventure game. Ninja Theory did this. They do Hellblade 1 and 2. They do a lot of games, but this was one that they did exclusively for the PlayStation 3, and it came out early in the PS3 life cycle. So it's got some really good visuals even now, some emotional kind of storytelling. And the other thing that I like to point out is, and Ninja Theory is really good at this, which is motion capture, right? So Andy Serkis is in this game. You guys probably know him. He actually did Gollum for the Lord of the Rings movies, and he's just well known for doing that kind of stuff, and he does voicing and things like that. Now overall, I think you can give this game some flack. One of the reasons why I play it probably every year at least once through is because it's only about 6 to 8 hours long. So like the replayability isn't necessarily there, but the experience is still fun, and the fluid combat makes it a lot of fun to play through as well. So the combat revolves around the actual Heavenly Sword. So it's not just the title of the game. 3 distinct stances. Each one is kind of tied to what you can do. Like there's a triangle, you press triangle and you can get like a speed stance. It's for faster things. The power stance is the square button, which is more of like a heavy-handed strike, which is, I think, also very important. I use that one a lot. The range stance as well, that lets you kind of chain attacks that are at a distance. So that's really cool as well. This game is very much voice acted incredibly well. It looks good. It plays good. I always highly recommend this. Such a fun game on the PlayStation 3. So the PS3 had some pretty good collections, and I think it was a good time to have collections, like the Jak And Daxter Collection here, one of my favorites. And the reason why is because it's a HD console, and when you bump from that standard def to HD, sometimes, especially if you got an HD TV, the standard def stuff didn't look good anymore. But this was a remastered compilation of the 3 PS2 games, action platformers, of course. It covers the precursor legacy Jak 2 as well as Jak 3, which is awesome to see. In the first game, I always criticize that one a little bit. I like it a lot, but the fact that Jak doesn't talk in it really kind of, I think, takes it down a notch or two. Jak 2 and Jak 3 are amazing. The collection itself is a massive action platformer series. Each game is, I would say, 12 to 15 hours. So you have a good amount of up to 45 hours of collection for this game, and that, in my opinion, is incredible. Which these games are pure action 3D platformers, sort of in the vein of Super Mario 64, controlling Jak in like a seamless open-ended world. And that's not just like some kind of little world. These worlds are pretty big and a lot of fun to kind of play through, and the graphics look incredible. There's a lot of collectibles and tasks that NPCs will ask you with and things like that. Yeah, like just overall in general, it's a really fun game and something that I love to play through. It's definitely showing Naughty Dog's more charming side. I think they've gone a little bit darker recently. But if you ever want to play great platformers, then play this trilogy on the PlayStation 3. It absolutely plays and looks amazing. I'd like to take a second and say, if you're enjoying this video or any of the videos that are on my channel, please do me a favor, like, share, comment, and subscribe, because it helps things out tremendously. I love doing these videos, and it definitely makes them a lot more fun, and it makes the videos more approachable, and you can actually see them in people's feeds and things, the more likes and things that they get. So that basically is what helps them out tremendously. As I approach 10,000 subscribers, I'm greatly appreciative of everyone. Thank you all so much. If you know somebody that doesn't want to subscribe to my channel, you just give them one of these.
Give him one of these. Ooh, hey, ooh.
So usually God of War 3 gets a lot of love on this channel, but I'm going with God of War Ascension here because it's one that you can't really play anywhere else. It's like still tied to the PS3, and it's a really good game. Yeah, it plays a little bit like DLC to God of War 3, but I think it's its own thing and actually talks up Kratos and shows why he is the way that he is in a more, I guess, epic way. Like, you get the idea why he's so angry, and I think that's really, really good. It's set before the original God of War. You're actually following Kratos as he breaks his original blood oath to Ares, which kind of kicks off the entire thing. It's got a great single-player campaign. You've got all the cool weapons that you're used to, the Blades of Chaos. You've got a lot of different weapons that you're going to pick. Of course, the heavy and light attacks that you've probably come to know and love. There's also elemental magic. His blades have 4 elemental powers. There's fire, ice, lightning, and soul, and you can change them around depending on like whoever you're battling. There's quick time events. I know some people those are hit or miss for a lot of people, but for me, I really enjoy it. There's some light puzzle solving in this game, like every God of War game pretty much. There was online multiplayer, but the servers did shut down, but it was interesting at the time. It was something a little bit different. Obviously, you know, Sony was trying to kind of get the multiplayer to kind of get people to stick around, because I feel like it's all about, you know, people, you know, getting these multiplayer and sticking around more than just playing the game and then leaving it. But this game is a lot of fun. It has its own uniqueness about it. I highly recommend it. I play it, you know, probably maybe once or twice a year. So yeah, it's that good. Up next is an amazing game that gets zero love these days, and that is Batman Arkham Origins. I love this game. I know people think it has problems on PS3, and maybe, but I enjoy it. I still like to play through it. I'm actually currently playing through the Arkham trilogy, or excuse me, the Arkham saga myself, and so I wanted to go back, and I've been playing this game a little bit. Third-person action adventure games. This was made by WB Montreal, not made by, of course, Rocksteady, but I still think this is one of the better games. This is actually set 2 years into Batman being Batman, so it's kind of a raw, unpolished Batman facing his first like major test, and there's a kind of a bounty out on Batman's head, and that draws out like 8 different assassins. There's Bane, Deathstroke, Deadshot, Copperhead, Firefly, Killer Croc. There's a ton of them. What's interesting here is you don't have to beat them all or meet them all in this game to beat the game. That's a very interesting aspect to it, but they are some of the best boss fights in the entire Arkham saga. It is amazing. There's a lot of the free flow combat is back. Of course, the rhythmic combat is as good as ever. The detective mode, all that stuff, the open world exploration, boss fights, yeah, just amazing. Like the Deathstroke boss fight in particular, absolutely crazy. The main story is maybe a little bit on the shorter side, about 10-12 hours. But, you know, again, there's other side stuff that you can do to amp it up, and it's just a lot of fun to kind of get into it and play it. And this game like doesn't get a lot of love, but I play it all the time and just think it's a great game to play. Of course, it's on 360 as well and backwards compatible if you have the disc. But yeah, so much fun to play through. Next up, another great platformer, Sly Cooper Thieves In Time. Such a great game to actually go through and play. And I think one of the cool things about it is it's different enough from the other ones. So, a lot of people like these. It's kind of a stealth action platformer. And this game was actually made by a different studio than what made the first 3 Sly Cooper games, which was Sucker Punch. And, sometimes I misremember that a little bit and confuse them with Insomniac. Insomniac Games did the original Spyro games. Sucker Punch did the original Sly Cooper games, but they had moved on to Infamous, so Sly Cooper 4 had to kind of do something a little bit different. But this is, of course, a lot of stealth and platforming, which is very core to the series. Revolves around his kind of traversal, wall running, grinding, stealth, and cane-assisted swinging, which is pretty normal for this. Really fun game. It's got a lot of heist missions and things like that in there, and I love that about this game. The combat is kind of a combo-based combat with you kind of string together your punches and your strikes and things, which I think is really awesome to kind of do as well. There's a time travel progression as well. The time machine is the hub for fast travel between the eras that you go through in this game, which I think is pretty fun as well. The cell shaded art really pops as well, so it's like the game looks extremely good. It runs good, it plays good. There's also a Vita version. I think it might be like a cross-buy situation, but overall, just a fun platformer that is something that we don't get these days. Again, nothing against the PS5, but I much rather go back and play things on PS3 than some of the stuff we're getting nowadays. But this game is really awesome. Next up is a game that maybe I'm the only one that really loves this game, but Back to the Future, the game. I love this. I think it's because I love Back to the Future in general. Most people that were born in the 80s probably feel the same way I do. It's a fantastic movie set, and it's a really fun game. So I love it. It's one of those things where I think a lot of people will enjoy this game, especially if you like the Telltale series. I think that's something that you can definitely get into than anything else. But this is like an episodic point-and-click adventure game by Telltale. This was released in 2011. They did eventually release some physical releases, so you can find those. They're a little bit more expensive though. Single-player game, kind of point-and-click exploration. The dialogue can change, so you have a lot of choices in the game, like picking what you want to do. The voice acting is really much on point. You got some of the voice actors from the actual movies doing this, including Doc. The person doing Marty is spot on with the impersonation, really spot on, and they do a really good job. But there's puzzles, which they're a little bit light. There's some QTEs. There's time travel mechanics as well. The game is a lot of fun. There can be a little bit of issues with it. The 5 episodes in total might last you 13-14 hours depending on how fast you play through them, but there is some replayability factor there because you can change some of the outcomes and things like that by changing what you pick to do. So definitely a must play for fans of the films. I love this game. I always highly recommend it. I play through it quite often as well. And lastly, Motorstorm Pacific Rift. I know this video is a little bit shorter than some of the other ones, but I feel like I can get more content out and more curated list of content if I keep the list a little bit shorter and maybe under 20 minutes. So I love this game. Maybe my favorite racing game on the PlayStation 3. Kind of plays a little bit like an arcadey version of the Forza Horizon series, but overall just a really fantastic game. Everybody that plays it loves this game, and this one in particular, I like the kind of island theme and things like that. It's got a boost wreck mechanic. It's basically not really as much coming in first place or whatever the case may be, but you know, there's dynamic environments, there's a festival mode, there's a lot of cool stuff to kind of look into and enjoy about this game, which is something that, you know, I talk about quite often, and just I really do just enjoy this franchise, and there's a few really good ones on the PlayStation 3, but such a fun game to get into, and just a game that I think if you're a car enthusiast or a race enthusiast and you like arcade racers, I think this is going to be definitely up your alley, and just a fun game to kind of get into and enjoy, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. You know, these aren't very expensive games, but well worth the price of admission, and you know, just in general, I just like the fact that, you know, the single player stuff is going to take you 12 to 15 hours by itself, so that's something to kind of look forward to. There's different unlocks, vehicle unlocks and things like that. It looks gorgeous, plays great, highly recommended. One of my favorite racing games of all time, and probably my favorite PS3 racing game to date. And so there's a nice little list of PlayStation 3 games that I'm playing recently. No disrespect to the PS5. I know there's probably some people that enjoy the PS5 and are playing it relatively often. But for me, I really like the retro stuff, and I've been getting much more into the PS3 lately, as you can tell by some of the stuff on my channel. And you know, it's nothing personal. I hope like Sony gets back into doing like the amazing single player first party stuff that they're known for, and you know, and then I would be able to hop back on and enjoy my PS5 more. Until then, I'm just having a blast playing the PlayStation 3. There's so many games that I still haven't even played yet, so I'm still finding some things on the platform that I didn't even know about. It's a great platform. I want to thank you all for joining me. Remember, if you have a different list than me or different opinion than me, that's fine. We're all gamers. We're all sharing our thoughts and opinions. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll agree with you with some of them. So thanks for watching. Be good to each other. Game on, my friends. I'll catch you next time.